if you really want to keep growing in your art, how brave are you going to be? If you really want to keep growing and developing and evolving in yourself, how brave are you going to be? How willing are you going to be to feel more and more acute loneliness? It's an odd feeling. Because at the same time you feel more connection. An incredible solidity and profound strength. But yet, with others you could feel alone. Unless you look for the common thread in everything and everybody. Because if you really tap into that never-ending source of life, I believe is inside of each person, and many artists from many different disciplines have known that that art doesn't have an end, really. Isn't that great? Yet, sometimes I think for some that almost feels too big. That almost feels like too much. But it's not. It's a matter of what kind of vehicle do you want to build. If you have a certain job in mind that you want, and you know the basic map of how to get there, you build the vehicle that needs to be used to go on that terrain and get to that place where you want to go. You could be satisfied there. You go to that place and you could keep expanding it and see how much you can develop on that particular bit. Whether it be an orchestra player, a quintet player, a professor at a college, there's all sorts of things you can do in any of those fields to enhance them, to make the most of them. And if you want to keep developing yourself, as your priority, and if your art reflect that, then you have to build a craft that can go through unknown territories and terrain to uncharted waters. And this is where you can start to feel alone. Maybe not everyone wants to do that. Sometimes people like the feeling of, this is the way it goes. I do this, this, and this, and I get this. I think that's very important. to have those kinds of things. And for example, even as a teacher, I'll give students many different things with very, very specific methods how to do something. And if they do it, they will get a certain result. But those little bits are not really ends in themselves. They're to build the bigger craft eventually. And if you're looking at a performer, an artist, in this case a musician, as someone who will go through many types of changes in their life, physical, mental, and emotional, spiritual, and then the craft needs to adjust to those terrains as well. You'll find yourself doing different kinds of exercises to adjust to those natural changes. And if you really want to keep growing and growing and growing and moving through those areas that aren't yet totally discovered, at least for you, and keep going because you're looking for that special place, then you always have to be on a discovery to see what it needs. What's that special place require? What will it have you do? Will it have you do things that challenge the job that you have? Are you going to be ready and be brave to play in a way to express that great big place, that intimate yet ever expansive place that might be out of the classical, traditional, expected? Do you want to do that? That's a question of development. That's a question. And a decision. Happy thoughts.